Good evening, my fellow Bridgerton lovers. We are on Bridgerton Season 4, Part 2, Countdown and Watch. I am super excited. So here's my second Bridgerton video ever this is my second video for Season 4 and Season 4, Part 2. So listen, we're going to talk about Sophie Beck because I'm believing that it's going to have something to do with the Queen. The Queen is going to be the reason why Sophie is found to be who she is. We're going to find out who she really is. At some point, Queen Charlotte is going to recognize that the lady in this dress that this doll is made of is Sophie's grandmother, who was one of her ladies in waiting along with Lady Danbury. If you recall in this series, Charlotte, they tried to make her ladies in waiting, the ladies in waiting for her to be very ethnic. She had two that were not ethnic and two that were ethnic, one Asian and one African American. And if you look at the ladies in waiting, you see very clearly that one is definitely Asian in the green dress, the lady who looks just like the doll that Sophie has. What I'm thinking is that this is the same lady that in Charlotte, after Lord Danbury died, they went with all of the nobility of the minority nobility to ask Lady Danbury what was going to happen with her son. And Lady Danbury said, "You mean my 4-year-old son would become Lord Danbury?" And she said, "Well, yes, if that's how the line of succession works for them, that's how it should work for us. Will it?" Now, if you look at this painting and compare it to the last picture, you can tell that's definitely the same woman. Now, here's what I want to submit to you guys. Sophie is the Lady Penwood's, the original Lady Penwood's daughter's daughter, not Lord Penwood, the son. I believe that the daughter gave birth to Sophie. She must have had an affair or been married to someone of lower class, and they didn't like it. And she had the daughter, but she died in childbirth. So the daughter was raised by the grandparents until they passed, and then Lord Penwood became her father, but then when he introduced her to his new wife and her daughters as his ward. So what I'm thinking is that because Sophie and Posey had such a close relationship, and Posey was treated so bad by her mother and sister, that when they go to the Bridgerton house and they see Sophie there, Posey is going to spill the beans, because I believe that even though Posey is in the shadows, nobody paid her no attention. Posey knows everything. She knows all the sordid details about everything, and I think she's going to get tired of being treated like crap. I believe that Rosamund is going to dog her out about Benedict, even though he came to see her and treat her like crap. I believe that Posey is going to go to the staff. The staff is going to tell her that, hey, the only one that can really tell anything that will be believed is you. Posey is going to somehow get the word to Lady Whistledown, who's going to get the word to Queen Charlotte. Queen Charlotte's wheels are going to get turned, and she's going to remember the original Lady Penwood, who was her lady in waiting, who had a daughter, who had a baby. And what is Sophie? That baby. And once she finds out that Sophie is that baby and that Lady Penwood stole that money, whoa, baby, Sophie is going to be fine. But Lady Penwood is going to be like what Charlotte told that doctor that was the doctor for George. You be lucky that I don't have you in it. Now, if you look at the concept art, this is one of the photos. You see it's like Sophie in the front against her stepmother and her stepsister. But Posey's not anywhere in there because Posey is her friend. Also, once Violet finds out what's been happening to Posey, that's when she's going to wind up over there with the Bridgertons. Now, why do I say all of this? So there's no other reason to introduce the dress that belonged to the sister of Lord Penwood. There's no other reason other than to signify that Sophie is her daughter. Also, why are they collapsing the time? Because in the books, there's no Queen Charlotte is not in the books. There's no Queen Charlotte. There's no ladies in waiting. So we don't get introduced to the grandma. So also, there's this big time gap between when Sophie meets Benedict at the masquerade ball and when they actually meet again when she's a maid. And, yes, Sophie probably will go to jail, or she's going to get accused of something and Violet's going to protect her. Something's going to happen that the Bridgertons come to her aid. And we all know once Violet gets started, she don't stop.